Hi everyone, it's Pamela Ferguson and welcome to Friday Naked News. And it's not that kind of naked. Naked News is where we strip away all of the preconceived ideas about skincare and everything else in life. So before we get into our topic today, I wanted to tell you about my VIP club. And all you have to do is get out your phone, go on to your text messages, and you type in 51660, and then in the message you type real PF. F is in Ferguson. And then what that does is allows you to get special promos and discounts and just any sort of information I may have going on. There's no commitment to buy, it's no cost. And you get probably about a text from me, maybe one text every 1 or 2 weeks. So it's not a ton of texts. It just kind of tells you what's going on and any discounts that you may be able to get. But today, what we're going to be talking about is oil fighting tips to make your face not look shiny. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Renee. So everybody can need these, especially you want your skin to look radiant. But also if it looks like it's greasy and things are sitting on it, you don't really want that look. So what we're going to talk about today is the first thing we're going to talk about is the cleanser that you should be using. So the cleanser needs to have some really good ingredients to focus on oil control. And one of those ingredients is called salicylic acid. It sounds like it's really crazy, but it's not. It's just something that you are used to saying, just like citrus acid. That's a tongue twister. Citric acid. Salicylic acid is just another acid that's actually great for oil control. So it helps unclog those pores, but is not over drying, which can be great when you have that oily skin. You also need to find a system that focuses on overall oil control. And when I say focus on a system, unfortunately, there is not one product that's going to be able to do everything that you want to do with your skin. To oil control, to give you your SPF, to be a cleanser, to do all those things. There is not one product to do that. That would be nice. That's like having one exercise to the gym that's going to make you look great. It just doesn't exist. So I would find a regimen that is specifically for oil control or even acne if that's part of your issue. Because usually they go hand in hand with these same kind of ingredients. A lot of you may not want to hear it, but if you do have oily skin, one thing that can make it a lot worse is piling on the makeup. You should not be using heavy makeup. Why? Why is it so bad for oily skin? First of all, especially when you're talking about foundation, and if it's in the summer like now where it's hot, it's clogging your pores. It's actually causing your pores to produce more oil because they're clogged. And it can melt into the pores, make those pores larger, thus producing more oil. So it's kind of like a never-ending cycle. You're trying to cover up the pores and having the oily issues, but you're actually making it worse. So we want to try to stay away from those heavy makeups. Another thing that people tend to think, well, I can't do that because I have oily skin, is an exfoliating. Exfoliating is something that everybody should be doing, even with sensitive skin. Everybody should be exfoliating, especially as you age, because the dead skin cells that normally you used to slough away when you were younger, they stay on your face longer. So you need to exfoliate probably at least once a week, but I would say no more than 3 times a week. That's kind of an average. So anywhere that 1 to 3 times a week is good. And despite what you think, like, I don't want to exfoliate because that's just going to make my oil worse. And you think, oh, it's going to make my skin dry. If you're using the right exfoliator, it should not be making your skin dry. If it's making your skin dry, throw that in the trash. That is not a good exfoliator. If your skin is too dry, dryness and oil go hand in hand. So if your skin is too dry, what happens? Your body says, well, it's too dry, I need to produce oil. You're kind of a catch-22. You're trying to dry your skin out, or you think you're trying to dry off some of the oil, but you're actually producing more oil because your skin is too dry. So you definitely need to exfoliate and use a product that's not making your skin dry. Don't scrimp on your sunscreen. Good sunscreen. If you're using sunscreen that's irritating your skin or causing your face to feel really oily, you have the wrong one. You have the wrong one. So you need to find something that has like a low oil sunscreen. You should be using sunscreen definitely when you're going out. You know, it's the summer, you're at a barbecue, at a pool, at the beach. But you really should be using it every single day. Every single day. And again, that's going to help control that oil. People used to think, oh, that's a good thing. I want to dry it out. It's going to get rid of the oil. Same thing. Too dry produces more oil. Same catch-22. Also, it really has something to do with what you eat. Do you like spicy foods? Do you like your cocktail? Great things. However, they can actually be causing you to produce more oil. Because what is it? Okay, I wrote this down because I'm not a huge spicy food person. So they dilate your blood vessels and they make you perspire more. That makes sense, right? If you have a really hot thing, it's going to make you perspire. So you want to try to cut back on those maybe once a week. I think that's a reasonable amount. But think about adding in other things like cantaloupe and carrots and spinach, because all these things that have those vitamin A have actually proven to slow down your oil production. So those are all great foods. Still eat the spicy foods and cocktails, but try to just limit it down to once a week. When we talk about dryness, I kind of goes into talking about moisture, right? A moisturizer. Just because you have oily skin does not mean you can't use a moisturizer. And actually, you should use a moisturizer because moisturizer acts as a barrier to the skin. Think about wearing a raincoat. So let's say, you know how everybody keeps saying, oh, what you need to do is when you're wet, you need to put your lotion on when you're wet. What that does is that traps the water or the hydration in the skin. The moisturizer acts as that barrier. So everything from the outside, the wind and the all the free radicals, it's kind of a barrier for your skin, and that's especially true on your face. However, the moisturizer you should be using should be an oil control moisturizer. If you have oily skin, you cannot just stroll down the aisle of the department store or the grocery store or the local CVS and just pick some random thing for moisture. You need to pay attention to the products that you are putting on your face. Is it making your skin more oily? Get rid of it. You need one that works for your skin. If you have no idea what you should be using, I've got some recommendations I can give you that you'll find that will work for you. But you need a moisturizer to keep that barrier and to keep the moisture in and to keep the hydration in. So, a night cream. Should you use it if you have oily skin? Yes, you should. However, same thing. Oil control, not heavy, luxurious creams, not for oily skin. You still need one because you want to avoid the dryness causing you to produce more oil. So we do need the moisture and a moisturizer at night, but a special one. Same thing, you can't just randomly pick one off. It's really important what you're looking for here. Hey, Grayson. And the last thing for oil to help you looking shiny in the oil is using mineral makeup. Now, we mentioned not to do heavy makeup earlier, and you're thinking, well, I really need to wear some makeup, which is fine. However, think about, especially during the summer, but this is good advice all the time, is to use mineral makeup. So they do have liquids, they do have powder. If you can, I would recommend trying to stay away from the liquids. Again, that liquid can really get into the pores, enlarging the pores, causing more oil production and more acne issues if you have that. So I would try to go with a powder. And the other thing, it almost acts as a little bit of a blotter for the oil that you have. And if you've ever seen those, I think I got mine at CVS, I can't even remember. It literally is a little blotter that you can put on if you're excessively oily. In your peptide, your mineral peptides, make sure it has an SPF. It's also going to be protecting against that sun. So that's a double whammy with your daily SPF and your mineral peptides. But those are some things to help you kind of guide you through to stop getting your face shiny if you've got oily skin. There's definitely stuff you can do. Did you know that you have 80% control over how your skin looks? 20% is genetics. Nothing we can do about those. 80% is in your control. So don't ever say, I actually did say this, my mom has big pores, so I guess I just have big pores. I thought I did until I actually used the right products. And the first thing that I noticed when I started using it, wow, my pores are so much smaller. Not because my genetics, because what I had under my control. Thank you for coming. I hope you learned something. If you have questions about anything, please reach out to me. Have an amazing Friday. And if you want to know more about me and what I do, you can check me out at www.realpamelaferguson.com. Have a great weekend and reach out to me if you need anything.